So today we are meeting Florence Cross, currently the UK's youngest yoga teacher, and the 16-year-old entrepreneur inside of me is just budding about this. I'm so excited to get to speak to you. Flo has got testimonials from ages 12 to 53 discussing her amazing business, Floga Yoga. She is here to talk about self-love, mindfulness, and the projects that she runs. So Flo, I would love to kick off straight away with business, and then we will come on to everything wellness, mindfulness, and mental health.
Awesome.
But you are a young entrepreneur, and you're an example of another conscious and concerned business manager who is out there, and I feel like we should be fully aware of and support you. Flo and Floga Yoga have a great awareness of mindsets and her customers' potential thought process. When you go onto her website, she delves right into these amazing frequently asked questions I've never seen before. Right down with the attention of, is it awkward if I know you and I come to a yoga class with you? What should I be thinking about COVID-19? She has these amazing blog posts about everything from women's rights to certain types of spiritual journeys that we can go on. And yeah, I just think from my personal business background, I'm equally interested in you running a company at 16, and I'm interested in your amazing advocacy for activities and mindfulness. So how are you finding entrepreneurship as someone who is spiritual?
Yeah, it's okay. It's quite hard because especially with what I do, it's something you don't want to have to charge for.
Yeah.
It's something you just want to like have as a gift, and even everything down to I spend a lot of time, like extra time, like messaging clients to just check in that they're okay and stuff. And obviously, I can't charge for that, but it takes up energy, it takes up time, so it's been really difficult trying to strike that balance. And with social media as well, like how much time do you spend actually doing something that you don't know if you actually get a return from, and yeah, all that kind of thing. And yeah, it's been a journey. Obviously, and I never like took any kind of business lessons or anything like that were at school. But you don't get taught about anything like how to make your own invoice or just little things like that. You just don't know. So finding out about all sorts from like insurance and all that kind of thing has actually been like really useful. Like I'm glad that I've been able to learn about all that stuff whilst I'm still at home, and my parents can like help me and give me advice and guidance.
Yeah, it's a head start, isn't it?
Yeah, and when it's really exciting to be able to do something just because I love it. I don't need to earn a living from it 'cause I'm still at home and everything. It's just something that I can do like alongside school. It's flexible hours. I don't have to work in a coffee shop or anything. And hopefully I'm making a difference to people's lives as well, which
Yeah.
is pretty awesome.
Yeah. And where did this all come from, Flo? How did you decide to start your own business?
Yeah. Well, I started teaching in my school. I set up a little yoga club because I was kind of talking to my friends. They were like, "Oh, I'd love to do this." So I just started like a little lunchtime club, and it was just something that, I don't want to sound like big-headed or anything, but it was just something I kind of naturally was able to do. Like the sort of words you say in a yoga class all kind of came quite naturally to me. And yeah, it just was something I loved. So I decided I'd try and find a teacher training, and I managed to find one somehow that was like intensive over the summer holidays. And yeah, I trained. And then yeah, it just kind of went from there because everyone used to call my classes Floga because obviously my name's Flo. And so it seemed daft not to call it that, and yeah,
Yeah.
it's just kind of grown from there.
Yeah, amazing. It's so interesting. And it just shows you how when you have a support network around you, anything's possible.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's exciting to be in an environment where it is generally quite like uplifting and everyone's really supportive. Like, if there's another yoga teacher in your area, they're not really your competition. They're just
Yes.
someone, because everyone kind of offers their own little thing. Like you you find the yoga teacher that fits you, and you find the students that like fit you. So there's not really any kind of competition or anything like that. So yeah, it's really nice.
Oh, I love that, Flo. Moving on to mental health and meditation, because this has been such a tough year and people have been starting left, right and center. Before this chat, we just said what a great time if you can do it, and if you can fuel your creativity or fuel your mind by starting something this year, then go for it. And that's been a huge focus of FREEBIRD content so far. But now we want to focus on the fact it's been a tough year and the fact we need to take care of ourselves. And there's 4 months left. And how are we going to dedicate those remaining 4 months to making sure we're okay and making sure that whatever happens in 2021, we're not weak, we're not vulnerable, we feel strong and we feel well. And I think it's great to hear your journey of how you have found meditation and that relationship with yoga, how you take care of yourself through it. And I just want to focus on how stressful 2020 has been for everyone, and how now is the time to focus on ourselves. So please do tell us more about wellness, about meditation, and about taking care of ourselves.
Okay, yeah, this is kind of broad.
That's quite a big one. That's quite a big one. Okay.
Where should I start?
What does it mean to you, basically?
Yeah, I have found yoga, obviously very beneficial. I want to share it with other people. But I think the main thing it's given me is this shift in perspective. It's kind of hard to explain, but it's almost like you realize what's important and what maybe isn't so important, and what, focusing your energy towards is actually kind of beneficial to, whatever your goals are. So although I never ended up taking my exams, it was something that I always kind of kept in mind, that although, exams are important, and, like, I do love school. I'm not saying that school's not important, but it's recognizing that there are things that are more important than anything else. Taking care of your body, your mind, has to always be your top priority. And it's because with yoga and mindfulness, you build more of an awareness of your body and your mind. You kind of tune into your body, tune into your mind. You kind of learn what makes you tick, what triggers you, what you find difficult, what you find easy. You learn to recognize your good days, your bad days, and what helps on both. You build this like beautiful connection with yourself, and it helps you to really realize that nothing else is quite as important as that. And missing out on a party or meeting your friends or whatever it is, if that's what you need, then that's your top priority. And I think it really it's helped me personally to really kind of shield myself from those pressures of thinking, oh, I need to be doing this, I need to be doing that, or so I'm a bit of a workaholic as well, but it's really helped me to be like, no, this is my time. Like today I'm just going to read my book because that's all I want to do. And I think that's the most important thing that you can learn, is how to listen to yourself.
Yes.
You always have the answers, you're just not listening.
Yeah.
Which I think, especially over this period, because everything's been thrown up in the air, it's nice. For me, I'm in quite a privileged position because my parents work from home. So it's all kind of, been not too different. But it's been a real time of reflection. And I think, everyone really should try and use this time to be like, what have I learned? What have I learned about myself? Have I realized that I like working from home? Or maybe I really do need to go into the office because that's what works best for me. Or, whatever it is, learning kind of about yourself is the best way you can take care of yourself. And I think that's, for me, is what yoga's given me.
No, I love that. And it's just so tough because everyone's in different situations, whether it's, we talked about the exam results being the craziness that they were, or that you haven't been able to take exams and you were really looking forward to owning that, or whether, you're older and you've got financial situations. at the end of the day, mental health experts always say exercise, talking to someone helps. I mean, 1,000,000%, and exercise helps. Do you
Yeah.
think, I always think that people have this, I mean, quite generally speaking here, people seem to have this disconnect with yoga because it's obviously classed as fitness. But do you think people might be more drawn to it if they were aware of the stress and anxiety reliever that it is, basically?
Yeah, I think so. I think it, because it really isn't like a sport, like a lot of people do view it as kind of fitness and a sport kind of thing. But if there's this whole philosophy and practice behind it, where the asana, so that's just the movement of the poses, is like a tiny little part of it. And like there's so many like teachings and stuff that you would, originally in the real version of yoga that, in Western society we've kind of forgotten. There's so many like teachings and processes that you'd go through before you'd even, get on a mat or start to move, that I think are really important, and are, it's a shame that people don't know about them, because I think they help your mental health, or can be useful to help think about things.
The self-love course is one of the many, many courses that Floga Yoga run. And as a teenager, Flo has observed the struggle friends and others in her age group go through trying to fit the mold or trying to be good enough for everyone else. Flo recognizes the only person that needs to love you is you. Flo, please tell us more about the self-love course and the importance of self-love.
Yeah, so this was one of my little projects over lockdown. So I've been trying to use this time to kind of work on my self-love and work on my self-love journey. And I'd kind of been gathering like resources and things I've done, and just kind of been creating a little folder almost of useful like journaling prompts and activities and that kind of thing. And I thought it'd be a great way to just offer a little, it's only 3 weeks, or it can change length, but it's about 3 weeks of private classes and like little self-love practices or little activities, that just kind of, I thought would be a little accessible way to just do something for yourself. So it's not too long, not too short. You don't have to put too much time towards it. To just kind of work on yourself and work on loving yourself, because it goes back to what I was saying earlier about that perspective and putting yourself first, listening to yourself. I think that loving yourself and taking care of yourself is the most important thing you can do, because when you're able to love yourself completely, you make better decisions, you don't lower your standards, you don't do things that feel wrong, because you have that love and respect for yourself. You know that if something feels wrong, you know that you're worth enough to be, no, I this is wrong, I don't want to do this, not, and kind of trusting your instinct, trusting that little voice inside your head that's saying, don't do this, because you know that you're right, because you have that kind of trust in yourself. I think it's really important to grow and to learn, especially for young people, because I mean it's not new news that a lot of young people are insecure and struggling with mental health and body image, and all these horrifying statistics. I just wanted to offer a little something that would be maybe helpful, and the people who've done it so far has really positive impact. It's been quite rewarding as well to teach.
Yeah, I'd imagine. I mean, the reason I selected that course to talk about is because I feel like it is incredibly unique. And what a beautiful thing. Everything you've just said, by the way, I was in awe, by the way. I hung on every word because that was really special. How beautiful it is to teach people little tools on how to love themselves and trust their gut. I mean, I was raised to absolutely have confidence and to know to walk away from a situation that might make me uneasy, or to speak up on things that didn't make me happy. But you don't actually get taught the words to say or the coping mechanisms to how to deal with those things afterwards. And that's why I think this course is so special. I mean, there was 10, I can't even tell you how many of them that caught my eye, and I was like, these are brilliant, and how incredible to have this available to us. But this one just feels so special.
Yeah, I think it's learning like tangible coping strategies, or just
Yeah.
like little ways to, like, one of the bits we focus on might be like confidence. It's just like a few little ways that you can feel more confident like before an exam or a job interview, you know, whatever it is you're doing. It's just, you don't get taught that at school. Which hopefully I've got some plans on getting that sorted in my school, but you don't get taught that anywhere. So it was something I felt that hopefully I could offer at least a few people.
Yeah, definitely. And the other thing about Floga Yoga, which is amazing, is they are currently offering a discount on that course because of low income due to COVID-19. And all your prices are incredibly reasonable, Floga. Is that an important part of, I mean, we say business model, I use it loosely, but is it an important part of what you do?
Yeah, it really is for me, because obviously I try to focus on teaching teenagers, and you know, some people, I mean, I don't want to like offend anyone, or you know, everyone's yoga teacher business style and everything is their own, but I think that it's some people charge like 50 quid for an hour's private class, and that is just like, no teenager can pay that, and no one's parents will ever pay that. And I just think that, you know, while I'm still able to, and I don't have like money pressure or anything, like I'm living at home, I want to make it as accessible as possible.
Yeah.
I know it's important, you know, to what's the word, charge for my time and everything, but I think it's more important that it is accessible to people, because you know, some classes, you know, in a posh studio, like you can pay up to 20 quid for a class, and that is, I just think that that's crazy. Because you know, doing your own yoga practice is free.
Yeah.
So, and I think there's a lot of like commercialism and around sort of wellness and yoga, like, you know, again, like with yoga leggings and stuff, like you can pay like crazy amounts for yoga clothes or whatever, but I think it's important to reiterate that all you need is your body and, you know, the floor. You know, you don't need anything else, and you equally don't need anything else to feel good about yourself or to feel positive or learn to love yourself. You don't need to, you know, pay crazy amounts. You don't need like fancy clothes, and you don't need any of these things you're constantly being told you need to be happy. You really do just need yourself. And I think I'd rather not earn as much and be able to share it with more people who really need it than, you know, the money isn't important to me.
Yeah. Oh, stunning. Oh God, that's it. Flo, no, this is so lovely. I don't want it to end. Oh, okay. So that's the last of the questions, which is such a bummer because I'm having such a lovely time speaking to you. Flo and I have been trying to schedule this, I mean, what, a good 2 weeks? But as she said, she is a workaholic and so am I, and our schedules have just clashed left, right, and center. But I'm so pleased we got to have this time this morning. And I got to wake up on this lovely Thursday morning talking about mindfulness and wellness. It was so lovely. I mean, that's the thing. Floga Yoga isn't just lessons, it isn't just time directly with Flo. She runs an amazing website full of loads of information and a great blog, which again, I just ended up in a whirl in your website the other day. It was brilliant. And we will share all of that with platform members. We will link it in the article as well, so they can easily find you and enjoy all of that content.
Brilliant.
Well, thank you so much for joining me today. It's been really lovely.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I've enjoyed chatting to you.